Hey there guys, Misty here from At Home with Misty. Welcome to another keto update. Third time's a charm. This is the third time I've sat down to film this video. Actually, I've been sitting here for 45 minutes trying to film this video. And each time I can't remember what I've talked about. So hopefully I'm not repeating myself, but I'm going to talk about a little bit of the keto update, what I anticipate happening in the next couple of weeks with keto, and then I want to address some comment kind of stuff at the end. So I weigh in today at 383 pounds, which is, I think that's a 2-pound loss since last Monday. 2 pounds? I don't remember what I weighed in last week, but I know that I'm 2 pounds down from the 385 whenever I was 385. I think that was last week. Honestly, I wasn't expecting the scale to move at all last week because for a couple of reasons. The first reason is I had to go off my anti-inflammatory. I'm having an epidural on the 1st, and I have to be off of my anti-inflammatory for 2 weeks. So no meloxicam, and we were getting a cold front this week, this past weekend, and I have felt it. If you're new here, I have arthritis. I have really bad arthritis. I also have, degenerative disc disease. I have radiculopathy in my cervical, thoracic, in my lumbar spine. I have stenosis. Basically, my whole body is broken. It's broken. And I inherited that from my grandmother, and her body was broken. So yeah, it's been really, really rough. My joints are swollen. I know you guys can't tell, but I can tell, especially on this hand. Like, my knuckles are swollen, my fingers are swollen. This right here, I don't know if you guys can see that, but this is huge. This is all swollen. My neck is swollen. My jowls have been swollen. Like, I've just been swollen everywhere. So I know that I don't anticipate losing any weight until I can get back on that. I am going to see my doctor tomorrow, my regular doctor tomorrow, because a couple of friends suggested like turmeric or celery seed. I'm going to ask him about that. I'm going to ask him about apple cider vinegar. I know a lot of people are like, you need to be doing this, this, and this, but I have to make sure that what I'm doing doesn't affect anything else that might be going on with my body. So yeah. So that's the first reason why I know that I probably won't lose weight. So last week, I was also surprised out of last week because my insulin, my blood sugar was high. And a lot of people, were suggesting that I was eating too much protein. And I am the expert of meat, and I knew that I was getting sick. I could feel it. I knew with the change of weather, it was probably going to happen. And I started running a fever Tuesday or Wednesday. One day last week, I posted, a picture on Instagram of the thermometer. But so I know that's had something to do with the blood sugars. And I took a shot a couple of days, and then I haven't had to take one the last couple of days. So been really good. Eating wise, I did great last week. I really think that I'm in ketosis, or at least in the acetone phase where you're getting rid of all that, because I can't eat pork. I had this issue the first time around. For those of you who are new, I did hard and fast keto for probably 4.5-5 months, and then I kind of went off of it because I needed a brain break, and then I'm back on it. This is kind of keto reboot week 3. This is probably the 3rd week that I've rebooted. And everything smelled metallic, tasted metallic, and pork was the one thing I definitely couldn't eat, and I've gotten there again. I did okay with the pork chops I made earlier in the week, but then I cooked a pork steak, which is basically just like they cut it off the loin, I think. Nope, couldn't do it. So I ate the fat off of it, and then I gave Rob the rest. Because the fat I can handle, but the meat, no. So, but I did really well last week as far as eating. So yeah, I didn't post any other vlogs last week. For those of you who've been following me for a while, I was posting vlogs kind of every other day, and I want to talk about that. So that was like the update, the keto update. And I don't have a meals video for you because I only have 3 days of footage. I filmed 4 or 5, and I don't know what happened to it. I may have just deleted it on accident. But sometimes I have to take a break from all the criticism. And I get a lot of it. I get a lot of comments, and not even the trolls, even though Sunday I got like 6 comments in a row. I was like, oh my God, what the hell? Well, come to find out, some of my videos are on a website called Fat People Hate. And it's a website where people just post the most ridiculous crap about fat people and making fun of fat people. And my thread, I think, is called Keto Lard, and it's about me, and they're talking about, 26 pounds is no big deal, you'd get that in a dump and all this other bullshit. And I'm like, come on, people, really? This is what you have to do with your time? But anyway, so, but a lot of comments last week or on the vlogs I had posted just got to me where they were being really shamey. And anytime you start off a sentence with like, you should, you're not, you need to be, to me that comes across as shamey. Because for some reason, some people get it in their mind that keto is very cookie cutter. Like everybody does keto the exact same way, and that's the only way that keto is going to work for anybody. And if that were true, there wouldn't be 50 million keto Facebook groups with every group doing something a little different. Everybody's like, you need to be eating more fat. I think 150 grams a day is enough fat for me. I am not eating 3 meals a day. I eat to when I'm hungry. And, a couple of days I had more protein than I normally would. But that doesn't necessarily mean, number one, that it's bad, or number one, that it's causing issues. And I know that I'm posting shit on the internet, and that opens me up to criticism, etc. Even if it's not on my videos, just be cognizant of how you come across to people in their comment section. To me, that's just, I know I'm on YouTube and I know I'm open to criticism, but at the same time, it's like I'm a human being, and sometimes I need a brain break. I deleted a whole entire thread on that video, one video, because it was just, and I normally don't go back and read to see if there's replies. When I get a notification of a comment, I'll go take a look at it, and I like it or love it or whatever, and if it's something I feel like I can respond to, I respond to it. But I just happened to notice this like 15 reply thread, and it was a couple of people attacking each other because they thought they knew what was best for me. Each person thought, and one person was trying to defend me, and I just don't want that happening in my comment section. And it's not necessarily for me, even though last week I just felt like I needed a mental health break. But every day I get comments or messages from people who start keto because of my videos. They see somebody like me and I inspire them. It's a little bit easier to be inspired by somebody who looks like you, who is your size, who's actually doing it, than being, inspired by like Matt and Mega, who are thin and doing keto, or, anybody else who are thin and doing keto. Sometimes I can just, I love them, I watch them, but I'm just using them as an example. So while, those comments may or may not affect me, I don't want somebody who is doing this to read those kind of comments and get discouraged. So I just don't be shaming, because keto is not one size fits all. I used a macro calculator to calculate my lean body mass, all that other stuff. So I've done everything that I needed to do. Those macros are working for me. I was losing a pound a day. A pound a day. That's a lot of weight. And it's come off even more since I was able to drop insulin. And I wouldn't have been able to drop insulin if keto wasn't working for me. So I don't mind if you give constructive criticism. I don't mind if you say, hey, have you thought about tweaking this, or have you thought about doing this, or have you maybe, even if you said, have you maybe thought that the protein is what's causing your blood sugar, instead of you are eating, like, it's just like you, and then another one was like, you need to eat at home more. Well, yeah, I would love to eat at home more. In fact, we can't afford to eat out. But there are days where I just can't do anything else. I do what I can do for us, and that's all I can do. That's all I can worry about. So, just be cognizant of what you say. And I don't mean to be preachy, and I hope I don't piss anybody off, but that's why I didn't vlog last week, because every time I picked up the phone to film myself, I was just like, why am I even bothering? Like, I was just in such a mental spot where it was just like, I don't want to deal with the criticism. So, and then the barrage of trolls yesterday, I was like, Jesus, Mary and Josephine, could you not? So, yeah. And I added some words. I hadn't done that yet, but I added some words to filter comments. So, you know, if somebody uses one of those stupid words, it won't even post. But yeah, so just please be nice to each other in my comment section. You don't have to defend me. I really do appreciate it. You know, I'm not saying that you can't have an opinion, that you can't comment. I just want you to be really cognizant of who may be reading. That's why before I got my diagnosis, any comment that was like, you know, you're a hypochondriac, you have Munchausen, any of those things, I was deleting them, because I don't want anybody else to read that kind of shit and feel like, and be invalidated. So, I mean, it's always weird because everybody's like, well, who do you think you're talking about when you do an update? Or who do you think, like, who do you imagine you're talking to when you film a video? And I feel like I'm talking to those other, you know, supersized people who are just trying to do what they can to make themselves feel better. So that's who I imagine. And everybody that sends me a message, and everybody, just know that I am rooting you on. I've considered starting a Facebook group for people who are supersized and are doing keto. I don't know that I want to get into that right now, but it may be something that I do down the road. It's hard. It's really, really hard. And I want to do a whole video on about body positivity and being keto and all those other things, and maybe I'll do that at some point. But you know, I just want you guys to just be aware of what you're saying. I mean, I know a lot of people think that they're entitled to say what they want to. I know a lot of people are just going to say what they want to anyway, but if you wouldn't come up and say that to my face, person to person, don't leave it as a comment. So I came off preachy again, but I'm not going to refilm this video. But so yeah, so I did pick up the camera and I have started vlogging today. It's already 1 o'clock. All I've had today is a coffee, just because I wasn't hungry and I didn't meal plan for the week. Actually, I was intending on making that loaded chicken salad that I made in a couple of videos ago. That was so good. But I just couldn't. Yesterday, I did all I could do yesterday, and I'm paying for it. So again, I don't anticipate losing any more weight. I probably won't even weigh again. Maybe I'll weigh on Friday. I was weighing every day. But, you know, with the inflammation, I know it's going to take forever. I am going to ask my doctor tomorrow about turmeric and those kinds of things. So we'll see what he says. And yeah, so again, I do appreciate every single one of you. And even when I just appreciate you and thank you. And those of you who come to my defense, I really do appreciate it. But I just want you guys to be nice to one another. I don't want my channel to be a point of contention between people. I don't want anybody to read the comments and feel like they're being invalidated, or, you know, that they're less than, or that I just want the world to be happy. I just want everybody to be happy and be kind. And that includes to me. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Next week, I'll film an update on Monday. I go see my neurologist on Tuesday. And then we'll talk about that on the 6th, on that update. So yeah, can you believe next Wednesday is November the 1st? Actually, the 6th will be my 8th month ketoversary. So yeah, hopefully we'll see. Maybe I'll be at 375. Maybe I will be. Rob has lost like 30 pounds, I think. I think that's what he said. We're gonna have to get him a new wardrobe. The other day I was like, I just looked at him. He's like, what? I was like, everything is so big on you. Like, everything. So anyway, I'm all over the place today. Sorry, guys. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.